Here we go, JJ.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for hanging out with us again today for another episode of Gold Ball Hunting. I am Brent Abel. That is Jeff Jacklich. And we are trying to help tennis players around the world. You know, we're trying to help those tournament guys, trying to help the league players, trying to help the Wednesday night crew. And initially what we're trying to help you do is reduce your skill level range, right? Which is, we're the only guys that talk about it. No one else talks about skill level range. I mean, no one else does. And so we're the only guys really talking about reality. Skill level range, right, is for one day or one evening you come out and you play great. Go home, honey, whew, I was the man. I was the man tonight. And she goes, played pretty well, huh? Okay, great. And then the next day you go out and you lay the egg and it's a big thud. And you go home and you don't say anything. You didn't even want to, and she's kind of looking at you like, not so great tonight, huh? No, it didn't go so well. So haven't quite got the game figured out yet, huh? Okay. So anyway, guys, what we're trying to do is help you reduce that skill level range to where it's not one day great, one day lousy. We're going to help you bring the bottom of that skill level range up. The other thing we're doing is we are offering a free private coaching call, right? Just three of us. It's a phone call, three-way call, 10 minutes, short time frame, but we can get a lot done if you bring that one thing in your game that just one thing. And it could be technique, it could be strategy, tactic, it could be mental. I would say that would be a good thing to bring to the call. But if it's something different, that's fine too. But we really want to help put you on the path to get that thing solved so that you can get the result you really want to start getting. And it might be just, how do I start consistently playing well day in and day out? That would be a great one. Guys, way to get on that call, goldballhunting.com, drop in a first name and an email address. Click the button and you'll get immediate access to our online calendar scheduler where you get to cherry pick the date and time for the call. It's not us. We're here to give. We're here to accommodate.
It's as easy as it gets.
It couldn't be any. It's the greatest deal since the sliced bread thing. So, Jeffrey, what's going on over there today?
Well, the sun's starting to poke out a little bit, so that makes me happy.
Doesn't take much, apparently.
Doesn't take much. Not after this winter.
Well, that's true. That's true. All right, good. So listen, guys, we got a topic today. It's a little bit of a follow-up on what we talked about yesterday. And I think there's this frustration that I see in a lot of tennis players, especially at the Berkeley Tennis Club, where I see we have a lot of 4-5 guys. And, we have a good amount of 5-0 women. I mean, they've got a team, and obviously we've got a big stable of 4-0 guys as well. So, but I see all of them, they're all competitive, right? A lot of these guys play league stuff. A few play in the tournaments. But what I don't see is those few players, and you're actually coaching, I think 4 or 5 of them, who actually have realized that the only way for me to get better is to just take the biggest possible bite, right? And really just completely commit. I see so many players over there, Jeff, it drives me nuts. I want to go up to them and just slap them around a little bit and say, you've got to stop this. And that is they start asking each other,
right?
Hey, what do you think I should do on my serve? And they're asking someone who's got not a great serve,
right?
And I'm thinking that's your idea of how to. And so and they might. So they'll here's the word. Here's the 3-letter word that I'm going to make it a 4-letter word that you hate. Tip with 2 P's, TIPP. But they want the tip, and then they'll go out and tinker for maybe 7 minutes on the ball machine or the basket, and they'll try it. They go, this one didn't quite work, and then they forget about it for a while. Yeah, it
Didn't stick.
boom, it didn't stick. So I see this frustration, and I've been approached a few times where they ask me, "What do you think?" And I kind of go with, well, how much time you got? I mean, do you? They go, well,
Right.
I got a lot of time. Okay, you got a lot of time. So here's the plan. Here's the plan. It's probably 12 months down the road
Right. And
before it
that's
actually has a shot.
and that's when the glassy look in the eyes starts to come through.
That's right.
Probably a little bit of drool right about here, right?
So I just want to encourage you guys. Look, if you're hoping that what you're going to get here at Gold Ball Hunting is kind of like going up on the deck at the club after you played and kind of stunk up the joint with the serve again or the forehand again, and you're looking around and moping around and looking for someone to give you, I just hope that's not what you're doing, because that's what most players are doing in terms of how they're trying to get better.
Right. I think I think it just sparked the thought of this, and I think this is we could say, not to get wordy, but it's kind of like a cognitive blind spot. Meaning, do you expect your strokes to get better? Do you expect your forehand to get better? I want my forehand to be better, but I want to keep my forehand.
Oh.
Right? I want my serve to be better, but I want to serve the way I'm serving, but I just want it to be better. I mean, there's certain things that, depending on the mechanics of your serve, it could be just, you just need to start hitting 30, 40 serves every day or every other day, and start building your targets and doing that, because mechanically there's something that's there that's pretty good. Or at least it's good enough, and it could be better if we could just hit our targets better. So there is a measure of that. I'm not saying that everybody it's very rare that you have to do a complete rebuild. However, if the thought process is, I don't know, he tried to change my forehand a little bit and I just wasn't, I mean, you really got to look and go, do you want to keep your forehand the way it is, and your expectation is that if I go hit on the ball machine, it's going to get better?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a reality check there that's got to be.
Look, it's sort of interesting to me because I've made some changes in my game over the years, and I just in the beginning I used to get excuse me, I used to get frustrated because I just didn't tangibly feel. I didn't need to have the result right then and there,
Right.
but I felt I needed to sort of feel that I was tangibly getting better, which I don't think we can do that. I don't think you can sort of go, well, here's where I am now, and I want to be over here. This is the result I want. And there's that gap between where you are and the result you want. And we all sort of want this security blanket that, well, at least I know I'm on the path. All right, I'm a third of the way there. I can see that I've gone from where I am to a third to where I want to be. And for me, that used to frustrate me because I couldn't make that happen. I just couldn't.
Right.
I couldn't feel that I was partially getting there. So at some point, and I can't remember who it was or what I read or what I watched, but it was kind of like that thing, like it will show up, this result that you want, if you keep working, if you keep doing the things that you should be doing. It's going to show up on its own frickin' time and place.
Right.
And you don't have any control over that.
Right.
The only control that you have is, are you putting in the work, just like you said, are you going out there, let's say every other day, and hitting the 30 or 40 serves? And are you getting some help? Are you getting, other than some other dude that's not doing the 30, 40 serves?
On your team. Right.
And just you just at some point have to build in that blind faith that the less I'm concerned about knowing where I'm at in that place, in that time frame from where I'm at to where I want to go, the less you're concerned about wondering where you're at and trying to make this result happen, I think the sooner you'll get there.
Right.
And
the other addition on that too is that because that's that's kind of the technical side, if you will, or the repetition of the moves, right, to create a forehand that actually is repeatable and sustainable with a decent result. Are you asking your peer group, whatever level you're at, tactically what to do as well? That can be another blind spot, is that you're constantly working, how to play the game, tennis theory, trying to make that happen when you don't have the full skill set to make it happen. And ultimately, but you keep trying to deploying these tactics, and you keep trying to do it when really the tactic itself is so counter to your skill set that there's never going to be any progress. You're never going to get it over the hump, because it's magnets opposing each other, and who are you asking for that tactical advice?
Well, that's the whole premise of the topic, is that you got to stop asking your bros. And
that's this. I'm going to dovetail back here now to the last episode about when I asked the question, are you following the majority? Right.
Yeah, right.
Is the guy you're asking? God, I got to share this with you, Brenny. Patrick McEnroe said this. No disrespect, but blah 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 about this in the match last night. Okay. Well, he's talking about Roger, who's playing.
He's having the worst day of his career, and he just won 4-1.
Right. Right. So I think hopefully I think the crowd, our listeners, and then the new people who are coming on board are really starting to get that this endeavor, this game of tennis, and playing it competitively, and it doesn't matter whether you're the Wednesday night group, Saturday morning group, USTA, playing the nationals. It doesn't matter. Once you're on the court and you're playing tennis, it's competitive. That's the nature of playing a game. It's competitive somehow. And so once you're there, it becomes then, who's on the court with me? What's everybody's skill set? What's my skill set? How do I get the job done today? And am I trying to deploy a skill set that isn't mine, or isn't I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, that isn't age appropriate? Am I trying to muster something up that I physically just can't muster anymore? So just to share with everybody, like for me, when I get back to Wesson here, just coming up in that by the end of the week, I'm going to be flying back on Sunday. I've got a couple, things that I'm going to work on in my own game. One of them is my serve. I'm getting my shoulders, I'm going to be doing more rehab on those. And it's not that they don't work, but I know I've got some impingements, I've got some things. And so I'm going to be working on that. And I'm really going to be seeing, can I remaster my serve while I'm there? That's going to be something I'm going to be taking my own video of myself. I'll probably be sending it to you, Brent. We're going to take a look at this thing and kind of go, is it possible for me to get back to, and I'm going to put 100-mile-an-hour mark on my serve. Is it possible for me to get there? From where I sit right now, the way I feel physically, blah, 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 I think it's possible, but it's going to take some doing and dedication to get the shoulders back online and to really kind of I'm not going to be able to do it the way I did. That's like off the shelf for me. The way my service motion is, so this will be like the second time kind of I've remastered my serve. I remastered it once once in college, kind of halfway through college and into the pros. It needed to be bigger so I could back it up with my volley was top drawer. I needed a bigger serve to create just way more opportunity, and I did that. Spent untold hours remastering it and coming up with my sequence. So that I could consistently, repeatable, sustainable.
Yeah, but you weren't playing a little fun match and then going up on the deck and asking someone for some
Right, right.
advice.
And then,
I mean,
and that's, well, I'm just sharing my method, the process that I'm going to go through to make this happen. And then I did it again when I became a teaching pro, because I wasn't doing the other one consistently every day. I wasn't practicing that.
right.
And so then I had to remaster it again to something that I could do on the fly, teach all day, step up, and do that. And so that's kind of what I've been working with slight modifications. But now I think, as I see it, I kind of feel like I've got to remaster it again.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of excited about jumping into that process and doing it. So anyway, I wanted to share that.
Well, listen, I would also say that, and I think that's great. I mean, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you want to get back into competing, and with this seasonal job you've got, not only do you have now a new opportunity for some more training and some more practice in the court, but playing some tournaments and that kind of stuff, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun for you. The one thing I think that we always talk about is reducing your skill level range. And that really starts with being more consistent as a shot maker. It doesn't mean that you are, because when we play at the top of our current skill level, it's not like we're hitting winners all over the place on that day,
right.
And that on the other days, we don't.
Right.
We're consistently hitting the shots that are within our toolbox on that day. And so the days when we kind of lay an egg, we're missing shots. We're missing shots. And to me, it's kind of like you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like, for example, let's say your forehand ground stroke. Okay, let's just take me as an example on that one. So what's to say that you could go out and you could either play a match or you could have someone feed you some balls, and which is what I did yesterday. And I had someone feed me some balls. I took the iPhone out, my phone out, and I just had it on my little tripod. And I went back home and I found the one that was exactly the way that I want to hit my forehand more and more often. And it wasn't a screaming 1,000,000% winner. It was technically sound. Speaking of sound, it sounded different than the other ones.
Right.
And it was just, you could see everything was organized from the setup to and the hand being relaxed. And I guess my point is, guys, if you want to get better, stop asking the guys about what you should be doing. And in fact, spend a little time, get out there with a video, use your phone, have someone feed you some balls. If it takes 50 forehands or 50 serves to get the one that you absolutely love, then so be it. And now what you've done is you've found the one that if you could replicate that thing in your matches, you'd be playing at the top of your level all the time. And if you don't know how to do any video editing where you could find the one out of the 50 and cut out the other 49 and then take the one and then replicate it over and over, some real time, some slow-mo, let me know. I can help you do that. But that's kind of my mission right now on this forehand is I've now created a 2-minute video that's the same forehand, real time, slow-mo. There are a couple of stills in there of sort of kind of some positions I want to be thinking about. There's no sound. I'm not being distracted with the sound. And I'm just going to immerse myself in that video every day a couple times, Jeff. And I know that over time, and again, I don't know when it's going to happen, but if I don't fight it, it's going to happen. That forehand will show up more and more often. And my point is that we all have that one forehand or backhand or overhead or volley. We all have it once in a while. And, what's the classic line? God, I wish I could do that all the time.
Right.
Well, I'll bet you couldn't ever do it all the time. But you could find a way to start doing it a lot more often.
Most of the time.
Most of the time where it's not like,
right.
Yeah, that was lucky that I hit the best. That I hit the top of my forehand. So, blah, blah, blah. There you
Blah,
have it.
blah, blah. There you go.
Yeah, stop talking to the guys in the deck and asking for the quick fix. Go do a little work. Go do a little work. Stop tinkering. Actually get out with a video. And then maybe have a professional kind of look at it. And make sure the professional is actually trying to help you find, hey, when I hit that one I really like.
Right.
Rather than him, like we talked about last episode. Well, no, Jeff, here's the theory. Here's the theory of the forehand. Right. Wait a minute. I know that I've got a good forehand in there once in a while. All I want you to do is help me bring that one out. Well, Mr. Tennis Pro, you're going to have to do a little work.
Yeah.
You're going to actually have to open up.
What does it look like?
You're going to have to see what this guy does.
I think the other thing, too, is that, the opportunity to watch, and not necessarily, don't go watching Rafa or, the guys with kind of the extreme strokes. But, go back a little bit on YouTube and look at, depending on your age and the type of strokes you kind of think you have, find an athlete that kind of you kind of resonate with, and look at the way they stroke the ball, that it looks aesthetically pleasing. And then look at your own stroke and go, you might go, ooh, I had no idea. I looked at herky-jerky, or boy, that was so chopped up, or boy, what is that little thing doing in there? I mean, take a look at it, because if you think, watching a Roger Federer hit the ball, the Baryshnikov of tennis, there's some fluidity there, right? And so look at yourself hit a ball and kind of go, wow, I never realized that I look so disjointed, or that doesn't look like it, there's something in there that doesn't look like it belongs there, or wow, what a poor setup, or wow, I'm really not preparing, to hit the ball, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I think the average Joe could actually, if they're honest with themselves, look at a video of themselves hitting a ball and see and recognize something that's aesthetically pleasing or not. Right. Because athletics and tennis in general, when the ball's being struck within some basic guidelines, is aesthetically pleasing. The move is not some, thing that looks like, wow, that looks impossible. That's just not the way it looks. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there because I think.
No, good. So guys, well, there you have it. I mean, we just gave you the answer to life right there. If you ask me, I mean, that was like, I mean, we could stop this whole podcast.
We got the rambling going here today, right?
Yeah,
we got the rambling going today.
All right, guys. Well, listen, thank you for hanging out with us again today. Hope you got something, and I'm dead serious about the video. If you want to send me that clip, that one thing, the stroke, I'll be happy to make what we call an immersion video, where you use yourself as the model, which is the best way and the fastest way to get that result you want on a consistent basis. Guys, we are still offering, as I said at the beginning, a free coaching call, private, 3 of us, you, me, and Jeff. We get in the phone, conference call, and you just bring that one thing in your game right now that is kind of just not working out. And in terms of someday it great, someday not so great. Yeah. We want to help you make it really good every time you go out there. The way to get on that call is go over to goalballhunting.com. First name, email address, click the button, and you'll get access to our online calendar scheduler, where you can cherry pick the date and time that works best for you.
Yes.
Jeffrey?
Yeah?
What's on your mind, son?
Well, I think I'd like everybody to like us, share us, please subscribe.
Oh.
Let us know what you think down below. Did we ramble too much?
Probably.
Probably.
Okay. Guys, get out there today, wherever you are. Help someone else have a non-rambling day. And we'll do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.